Today we are going to be making a fun shaker card using new products from Scrappy Boy Stamps. Let's get into it. We're going to be using the rose stained glass window stamp set for the sentiment, the Beauty and Beast paper pad, and the A2 Dome shaker card die set. So I've cut out all the dies for this set and I'm showing you what those are there. I've cut the dome. This is just the largest dome out of some window sheet, and I've taken the two domes arches and stacked them together with secured them with a little tape and ran them through to cut the frame out. I cut that out twice. Now I'm going around with some tearing tape and just running that along the edge of the back of the frame because I'm going to use that to secure it to my window sheet. So I will take and just attach all that through there. It was super easy to do, nothing hard, but I'm going through, I'm going to press it into place. I found that that's best for me with my tearing tape if I press it into place. Now I'm going to take one of my domes and I'm going to use that for the background of my shaker card. So I'm going to do this all at the same time. I'm taking the frame that I added the adhesive to and my domed background. And I'm just coming through with some light blue ink and adding that on with a blending brush. That way I will be able to create the look of glass, the shadows that are on glass, by just using ink. So I'm going to go ahead and do the background panel now. I'm just ink blending. I think I used two different colors of ink. I'm starting out with the lightest color first and just ink blending that on completely. And I'm going to come in with the second shade and add a little bit more color to that. And then I will come back again and ink blend again with the lightest color and blend that out. That's the way I like to do the ink blending. It gives me a smoother transition between the two colors. And I'm leaving that center highlight in there for a little added definition as well. So I'm going to do that same thing to that frame. I'm going to add the darker color just in spots. I just picked a couple spots where I wanted it to have a little bit of shadow, added that in, and I will blend that out with the lightest color just to make sure everything's nice and smooth. And I'm going to move that out of the way, and then I'm going to add a little bit of color to the background panel of the dome base. This is the die for the dome base. You can actually take cut two of these and make it into a card base as well by scoring one of them. Just where you want it to fold, I will have an example. I will try to remake that card and have an example of that because that was the first one I made. I added a little brown ink at the bottom. No big ink blending here. Just adding just a little bit of color to get so the white doesn't show through. Now these are the two parts to the dome base. So I'm going to add a little bit of brown color to both of those. And I'm starting out lighter and I'm going to add a little bit darker color. I do think I did like 3 colors on this one to get it as dark as I wanted it. I came in with the light color first, added that darker colors on the both sides, and then added a little bit darker right on the edges and just blended all that together. Then I can take and come back and redo that blending a little bit more to smooth everything out. Make sure everything's nice and smooth and blended. And then I can move these out of the way, let those dry. And then I'm going to start building up the dome part. I'm going to add a little flick. I forgot about adding that flick of water and a little bit of color. So I'm going to come in. I've cut everything from white cardstock. You could cut it from color if you wanted to. I chose to do white because I'm going to use my Copic markers and add the shading with that. So I started off with the darkest shade of my marker, and then I'm coming in with the next lightest shade and then adding the highlight and blending all that together. This is the way I like to do to get a more realistic look in my die cuts. So I'm going to do that same thing with the rose part. I'm adding my lightest color first, or darkest color first, I'm sorry, and just blending that out with the medium tone. Just going right over. I decided to pull in a Post-it note so that I could hold on to it a little bit better. And then I did the other side as well. And then coming back and blending everything together. I also did the die cut inlay pieces Totally optional. You don't have to use those. I chose to color them with the darkest marker because I'm going to inlay the pieces that I did not lose. And yes, Rick lost some. All right, so I'm going to peel off the backing of my tape. This is super easy. I just used a craft pick to pull those off. I have no nails, so I have to use something. So we're gonna go ahead and peel all those backings off. I'm gonna layer the window sheet behind that. I've decided the easiest way to do that was to lay the frame down and then put the window sheet on top of that. I think I just used just some stamp packaging. Now I'm going to add some foam strips to the back of that. Remember, anytime you're building a shaker card, you want to make sure there are no gaps in your foam. You could also just cut the two domes together to make that you made the frame with. You can cut that multiple times and just stack those up too if you wanted to avoid the foam tape altogether. I've done that, and that's my favorite and preferred method normally. But today, Rick's being lazy, and I'm going to use the foam tape. So I've got that on there, and now I'm going to come in and add my rose. So I'm going to start off by placing the stem, and I'm just going to use liquid glue, add small dots of liquid glue behind the die cut piece, and I'm using my tweezers to hold it because Rick has fat hands, and we need those tweezers. So I'm just going to pop that down, and then I will do the same thing with the rose part. I'm going to add liquid glue behind that, and then I can place this into place. The only part of this die set I did not use was the top of the top of the dome. And I had one, I just lost it, so I didn't use it. I was being lazy and didn't cut another one. I just put it on just like this. So now I'm going to inlay those die cut pieces, and I just picked them up with my tweezers and just popped them into place. It was super easy. I just had adhesive down there. And I can never say the cloche word correctly, so I don't even know why I'm trying, y'all. All right, so we're going to go ahead and finish our die cut inlay. You could totally use a different color of those, cut it a couple times and had put those in, or just left them out. I decided to go ahead and inlay them back in just for a little added extra interest. But of course, I have always lost at least one or two pieces, which I did. I lost a couple of the small pieces and could not find them. They're around here somewhere on my desk. We will just have to find them. All right, we're going to continue on, and we're going to go ahead and add in our pieces, build up our pieces. So I'm adding the base layer, or the top layer of the base of the dome onto the bottom layer, and I'm going to add those onto our dome base, and they just line up perfectly fine. I just put it down with liquid glue. I forgot I was going to do my sentiment, and I picked a sentiment from this is the rose stained glass window stamp set. I just stamped that in some VersaFine ink. I picked Always Believe in Yourself as my sentiment, and I just stamped it as close to the rose as I could get it. And now I'm going to take that and add liquid glue behind the first layer of our dome. And we're going to attach that down to our dome base. This goes together super easy. This is one of the easiest shaker cards I have ever made. And if you follow me on my channel, you know I don't make shaker cards a lot because I have the worst time making them. But this was easy, so. And for some reason, Rick decided to use some gold glitter this time and forgot to take and treat the window sheet so that glitter didn't stick everywhere. So make sure you rub some type of anti-static sheet or something along the window sheet so that your glitter does not attach to the window. It eventually failed, so it was okay. But I'm just adding that frame on, lined up on the the base of our card front. And now we're going to take a pattern from the Beauty and the Beast pattern paper pack. I cut it down to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and I'm just going to attach that to my card base. And I just picked the one with the rose. I thought it was going to be super pretty that way. That's why I chose it. Everything's matchy-matchy. All right, we're going to go ahead and attach our dome shaker to our card front, and you can still see a little bit of that pattern paper through the sides. So that's why I chose to do that. We're going to bring it all the way down close to the bottom, everything line it up, and then I'm going to take and press that into place. Here is a closer look at my card. I'm going to shake it around a little bit. Here is a picture of it. If you like this video, you're probably going to like the one coming up next. See you in the next video. Bye, guys.